What do you like about yourself?
What do I like about being myself? That I'm always able to see a lesson in whatever challenge life throws at us. Hello, and welcome back to my new what? Okay, come. Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shanette, and if you are new here, thank you so much for joining. To everyone who is a returning subscriber, I appreciate you guys being back. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but today I'd like to do something different. So I've recently joined this Facebook group that talks about relationships and toxic people, toxic relationships, and they kind of ask for advice. But I thought instead of commenting on the video, I would reply here so that maybe their story could be a testimony to other people, and the advice I share here could maybe go further than just the comment section. I have been currently dating a woman for the past 10 months. Now I totally understand building relationships, long-term relationships, marriages, etc. All experience some turbulence at some point. I feel that since the beginning of the new year, for the past 3 months, we have been having a lot of turbulence. At this time, I feel like it has truly been an emotional roller coaster with this woman, where one day everything's perfect, we feel good, the relationship is perfect. Then the very next day, the high goes down and we reach the low of the relationship. Recently, there was talk about us going to sit down with someone to talk about counseling to see if we are compatible with each other. To get to the point, my girlfriend recently asked me for a large sum of money to help her to pay for part of an international trip that she is going on. She had this trip planned before we even met with her girl group. I'm feeling some type of way because one minute she's wondering if we're compatible with each other. A couple of days later, she's asking me for a large sum of money to help her with the trip. I understand that I make more money than she does, and I don't mind helping her out, but I don't want to feel that I'm being taken advantage of either. Ooh, okay, so that's a bit of a tricky situation. And I think it's good that he's reaching out and kind of like looking for another opinion. I also think it's a little bit like shaky grounds to be kind of like investing in someone. And at the end of the day, I believe that a relationship is an investment, whether we're investing our time, our money. We are investing ourselves in something should we like see a future with someone. And that being said, um, with them having this extreme highs and extreme lows so quickly, like just days apart, I find that honestly it would be I wouldn't personally tell him like do invest or don't, because I mean that is a large sum of money and he would have to take into account if that's feasible for him to do. But at the end of the day, like I said, we always investing, so it's just like now he has to decide whether firstly whether he'd like to continue investing his time in the relationship, and then from there I think deciding whether he sees himself investing financially. Also, I think like a little bit more details about the relationship, like what is this turbulence consist of? Like what are these arguments about? Are these conversations that are able to like get to a common ground? Are they clear on what what excuse me, are they clear on what they value? Um, yeah, I feel like a lot of things that's kind of happening with this turbulence can kind of be avoided when you get to a common ground where it's like, okay, I know this person, I know what they value. And um, like I always find that it's extremely important to get to the core values of a person, just to know what's important to them. So like when you guys are in a situation, you kind of know where they're coming from. And instead of like maybe judging someone based on your own insecurities, you're able to like look at them as an individual and kind of like move from that point. But yeah, the fact that she has already planned this trip also like before even meeting him, and then like questioning whether they are compatible, but then being like, help me to pay for the trip is a bit sketch. So like I think all in all, to just sum everything up, my advice would be to find out from you, like find out from yourself if you would like to invest your time moving forward with this person. And should that be yes, should that answer be yes, then I believe having a conversation should be the next step between the two of you guys, finding out if you could see each other, like if you could see yourselves being together long term. And even then, there's no pressure to financially invest. Should that be something that you um, are sure of, then go ahead. But yeah, that's my take on that. Let's move on to the next post. It says, do you believe that in some cases the father should have custody of children? So the questions are quite vast. So yeah, we jumping onto a whole new topic. Do you believe that in some cases the father should have custody of the children? To be honest, yes, I do. I believe that every situation is different and every case calls for a different reaction. It's not always in the children's best interest to be with their mother, just like in some cases it's not for the dad. So I think it's just depending like situation to situation. Ultimately, I would say before having children, make sure that you have a solid foundation. I know this is kind of like um digressing a bit because you can see these people already have children, but just for someone who is watching, who's maybe single or newly in a relationship or has been in a relationship or newly married, continue building your foundation with yourself, continue building the foundation that you have with your partner before bringing in children, because children are more than just like the enjoyment that you get from sex. And I believe that people need to take that into account more, because before being able to give to a whole other human, you need to be good with you. And that's kind of like my views that I've had for most of my life because of the relationships I've seen in my life. And so, going back to the question, I would say yes, in some cases, the dad should have custody. In the perfect reality, it's both parents that have custody. Let's move on to the next question. Why do men have to treat women so bad in a relationship? Like 1 minute they love you, the next they move in with you, and then their kids are manipulating you, and him and you bring it to his attention, and he goes and said he's moving out because he wants to have, oh, excuse me, because he wants to let his kids to continue to manipulate you and him. And I told him to get out, and he said no till the 28th. But I can't stand to look at him or be around him. So, what does that mean? Okay, so I can tell that this message was clearly written in a very emotional state. I would say that to the first question that she asked is, why do men have to treat women so bad in the relationship? I believe that that is situational. I believe that every person is different. So in that sense, every man is different, every woman is different, and from situation to situation, people do differ. I know that sometimes when people are going through hurtful situations, they feel like all people are the same and no one should be trusted. And once that hurt kind of passes, they will get to a more rational mind where they're able to be like, okay, this person hurt me, but am I a bad person? Do I do that to everyone? Like, I know I also haven't been perfect in my life, but do I do that to everyone? It's always nice to kind of like remind yourself that yes, um, there are people out there that are evil or do have evil intentions, but just like they are also good. Um, but yeah, I believe that just as a tip for the future, should you be moving in with somebody, just consider having conversations with them that will kind of like help you determine like should this be a good fit for you. And my main advice would be pray about the person, because I believe prayer is the best. Yeah, let's just leave that as there. Yeah, and also at the end of the day, like regardless of how the relationship started, I believe that if it's your property and if you currently feel uncomfortable in your property, then you have every right to say, like, please leave. And he has no grounds to kind of be like, oh, till the 28th or whatever. If you feel disrespected and you feel like you feel uncomfortable in your own space, then I believe that this is an opportunity for you to also be vocal about it. And a lot of people are kind of scared to be vocal about things that make them uncomfortable because they feel like it would potentially end up with an argument, and they potentially don't desire to go that route because they'd rather be uncomfortable and not say anything than actually be vocal about it, with the because of the fear of kind of like it turning into something bigger. But I believe that certain situations you are able to clearly articulate your needs and things that your boundaries in a sense, without it becoming a big argument or without it becoming like an explosion. It is possible. I know it's kind of, it is like, you're not sure, especially some people that react in a little bit more of an aggressive way. But I would say stay true to you, and also remember that at the end of the day, you have to have your own back. And though you were in a relationship with this person, you also have to choose yourself, because that's important. And it's important for you to make sure that somebody is looking out for you. And if there's nobody, then you need to be the one to be looking out for you. So yeah, this is the 3 questions that I have found today to answer. I do pray that you're able to take value from these questions and answers and advice. And should you have any questions, or should you like to be featured on this series of answering questions from Facebook, then do share those with me, and I look forward to hearing from you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And to everyone who is new to my channel, kindly do remember to subscribe, like, and yeah, like I said, leave your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, much love.